Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight's game of Curse of Strahd. We're at episode 16, and we're at a very important crossroads of the campaign. We have the finale chapters coming up very, very soon. We'll talk about all that and more in a second. But before we jump any further, we want to welcome back Dasha. Dasha, how's it going?
It's been a busy few weeks, but I'm happy to be back here with you guys.
Yes. Any news to share, Dasha? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just moved from the West Coast to the East Coast over the last week, so I'm
Yay!
very excited to be
Yay.
here.
Welcome home.
Woo! 5 years after I left, I'm back.
Yes. And for those of you who didn't know, Dasha, of course, lived in California for so long. We missed having her here on this East Coast, but now you're back. The place is brand new, as you can tell. You're literally on the floor, are you not?
I'm on the floor, no furniture, still waiting for all of our stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna excuse the lighting and the audio for this week, but we'll be back in Strahd very soon, and I'm excited to have you playing in our time zone now. It's really good.
I'm realizing how lucky I was before. I got to be done by 8 with the streams. You guys go late.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
to readjust.
Yeah, I guess so. Goes into sleepy time.
Yeah, it's going to be a little period of adjustment. That's what I say all the time about sports, because like whenever, like right now, the Mets are actually playing the Dodgers. So after the stream, I'll be able to catch most of the game. If it were, well, I can't normally because right, I cut cable, but you know, in past I've been able to enjoy it. I feel like now I can only watch my damn Mets on national games. Ugh, disgusting. Anyway,
How can you support
Dasha,
the Mets when you live in Westchester?
why is that?
You used to support the Yankees because it's right on the.
I know. It's weird. If you're above, if you're in the Bronx or above, you're expected to follow the Yankees. But
Right.
as a young child, I always went against the grain. You know. So
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm also a Jets fan. So if that tells you anything, I enjoy suffering. It's why I like playing D&D.
Oh,
It's
God.
the only time I get to be in control. You know.
Jets fan is brutal, man.
Yeah, it's actually way worse than being a Mets fan.
At least the Mets have been doing well. They've had stints of doing well in the 2000s.
They have. Dasha's looking up what are the Jets.
Yep.
When you're a jet all the way.
Well, we
West
have
Side
other
Story,
people.
anyone?
We have other people here who aren't as important. Like we've got Andrew and Tim and Stefano and Michelle. Oh, wait, Michelle, you might just be a special. We had to move as well.
Oh.
You look in a
Yes, yes.
different
I
spot.
also moved in the last week. That is something we have in common, Dasha. Yes, and now we are both Connecticut residents. Woo, Connecticut. Very exotic.
Nice. Yeah. But you have a chair.
That's true. I do have furniture
And blinds.
around.
Blinds.
Yes, blinds, so that
A luxury that I do not yet have access to.
Sorry, Dasha, I don't mean to rub it in your face. Don't look at my blinds or my furniture.
Okay.
But yes, lots of exercise. Whew. Yeah, I guess I was saying this before the stream to Bob, but I feel like in the last 2 weeks I've exercised more than I have in the last 2 years. So I don't know. I'm thinking after the moving process, either I just like keep moving every 6 months, so I keep exercising, or I just like kind of keep the momentum and find some other way to exercise.
It's hard. Very hard.
It is.
Although I've been very much enjoying disc golf.
Oh, heck yeah.
Would highly suggest.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I lack any and all semblance of hand-eye coordination. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would give it a go, but yeah,
Well,
I feel like
the
I'd lose
reason why I
all my
like it-
discs.
Well, it's
Mhm.
easy on the body. Like I feel like I can do it, and I tore my ACL last year. I feel like it's very like you can do it and like play and no risk of injury. Maybe not no risk of injury. You could hurt yourself, I guess, but like in theory, right? Like compared to like basketball, oh my God,
Right.
way
right.
safer.
Fair,
Way
fair. Yeah,
I always-
injury-wise, where there's a will, there's a way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I always stub my finger with basketball. I'm like, ow.
Well, that's not as bad as tearing an ACL.
It's gonna be worse.
It'd be pretty painful.
Andrew, do they play basketball in England? No,
A little bit.
a little bit.
It's more netball.
Netball.
Mhm.
What's netball?
It's like basketball. You can't run with it. When you have the ball, you have to stand still.
Oh, wait, isn't that just called European handball?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. But here's what I want to do today. Actually, Andrew and oh my gosh, Andrew, Dasha, and Tim are both on the Vecna Eve of Ruin chapter, this current chapter. So check that out. We're actually playing tomorrow, so that should be another, as Andrew would say, smashing a good episode, right? Wasn't that a great episode yesterday or last week?
Super good. It was a good
Yeah,
one.
good.
Very
I want to go
much
to that
I-
casino.
I watched it. It was really awesome.
Yeah, if you want to check out what it's like to be in a casino in hell, check out Vecna Eve of Ruin Chapter 8. We'll be streaming tomorrow. You can catch up on all the stuff through the playlist. Maybe I'll post that down either in the chat or in the comments later. But more to come on that soon. And then the finale for Vecna will be coming this summer. So a lot to cover there. But we actually played a game at the start of last stream. Because last time we were supposed to play Strahd, I actually was away on a school trip. So we had to skip that week. And to kind of talk about it and kind of break the ice last week, we played one of the games that we played on the very, very long, like almost 8-hour bus ride home from Washington, D.C. And that was guessing U.S. states based on their state bird. Now, we played a lot of these games because, as I said, it was almost an 8-hour bus ride. So we ended up doing state mottos as well. So I'm going to bring up the mottos. I'm going to tell you the motto. You're going to tell me the state that it belongs to. Okay. So this is a little bit of, U.S. lore here, as the kids would say. All right.
You know what Connecticut's motto is?
I do only because I'm looking at it, literally.
It's get in the way between New York and Boston.
Is it really?
No, it is
No.
not. No, it is not. It actually is weirder than that. It's Latin. A lot of the mottos are in Latin, but the English translation is "He who transplanted still sustains." That's
And there's
What's
grapevines
about
all over our
Dasha?
flag.
welcome
Not
to
doing any of
Connecticut.
these.
Anyway, so that's Connecticut. But let's do one that's actually pretty cool here. All right, so I'm gonna pick one, and I don't know. Are we doing it by person or are we just shouting it out? What do you think?
I think we can shout it out.
Okay. Here we go. To be rather than to seem. Which state is that motto? Of course, this is translated from Latin. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Ooh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
If somebody guesses, I'll tell. If somebody guesses,
I
I'll
know
tell-
what the answer is.
Go ahead.
What?
North Carolina.
Yes. How did you know that?
no way.
Cam W.
What? Oh, Cam the man. Yes, in the chat. Nice, excellent, Cam. Good job. All right, so that's North Carolina. Here we go. With God, all things are possible. Someone on the panel should know this one.
Not Ohio, is it?
Ding, 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 ding.
Are you
Ohio.
joking?
Of course.
Wow.
That
Ohio.
makes sense, but oh my god. Great. I did not know that.
Here's another one. Ready? Mountaineers are always free. If you're a sports fan, I feel
Colorado?
like you might know this one. No, not Colorado. Mm-mm. If you're a college sports fan, you probably would get this one. And it's also funny that's translated from the Latin, but mountaineers are always free.
So which mountains is the question?
That's the question. Which mountains?
West Virginia?
You got it. West Virginia.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, West Virginia Mountaineers. Yeah.
All right. Now, this one has 2 mottos, so that tells you
Oh
something.
boy.
First one is, while I breathe, I hope. And the other is, ready in soul, and resource, both translated from Latin. It's an
What are
old
these?
state. It's an.
This
it's
is
an
not
OG
my
state.
area of expertise. I'm not even gonna guess.
It's
Do we
an
have a
OG
social
state.
studies teacher? Actually, I don't know if this is even something that a social studies
I-
teacher would know. Like,
We would not know this.
It's an
No,
original.
definitely not.
It's an original 13.
hmm.
Pennsylvania.
No, more south.
Virginia.
South.
South Carolina.
You got it. South Carolina.
Oh,
Two
wow.
mottos. And the last one here. The last one. I think this is actually going to fit us real well here. By valor and arms.
Oh, that's it.
That's the
Oh.
motto.
Is that
Oh.
Virginia?
No, but you're on the right track. South.
Georgia.
On the right track.
Louisiana.
You're getting closer.
Alabama.
Closer.
Texas.
Still close, but not as
Uh.
close.
Florida.
Not Florida.
Kentucky.
No.
Tennessee.
Wow. Failing here. We're failing.
Not
There's
good
a-
luck for us, guys.
A big
I'm
old
just gonna
river.
say what chat guessed. Mississippi.
Big old river name. That's it. Mississippi. By valor.
Chat
and
are the
arms.
winners for sure.
Yeah.
Chat one.
Cat are the winners.
Go
but
chat.
you could imagine though on a 7.5 hour bus ride how this would be very entertaining. So that's our. Oh, this is a good one too. I'll just tell you this one. By the sword we seek peace, but by peace only under liberty.
Do you want to know
Massive.
what the Gwaindire motto is?
I thought that was
say
it.
Gwaindire.
I thought that was it.
No.
No.
Was that
the
Maryland or
Gwaindires?
Delaware?
That's Massachusetts. What's the Gwaindires?
For
Oh.
Gwaindire and Glory.
For Gwaindire and Glory. That's almost as bad as Maine, which is I lead.
I lead.
That's Maine.
Okay.
I lead.
What's this?
My personal favorite, and also the only one I know, is live free or die.
New Hampshire.
New
New
Hampshire.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's a good one.
respect that.
Well, everyone likes New York's.
What's that? Make money.
Excelsior.
What does that mean?
Ever upward.
But yeah,
Bum,
Andrew, make
bum.
money works too.
An old Al Gore saying, I think.
Womp womp. New York's not it.
That's
All
actually
right.
quite a good one.
Yeah, and everyone in the chat, yes, Dasha's volume is a little low. There's a little bit of reverb. Obviously, she's in an empty room, so we're gonna deal with it for a week. But Dasha, we expect more next week.
We need tapestries all over the walls.
Next week, I will make sure that
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just keep your that little doohickey close to the
Got it.
Thank you. Again, not that big of a deal for this week, but we'll keep everybody up to date on Vecna Eve of Ruin, which is again coming back tomorrow, and let's play some Strahd. You ready to jump into Grayscale?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Oh, feels good to be home. Right, Stefano?
I'm thrilled.
I
I
love Grayscale.
devoid of color is where I love to be.
Love Grayscale. All right, I'm just putting some music on. Last time we played, quite a lot happened actually, and it's been 2 weeks since we played. So let's recap. Esmeralda came to Argynvost. You spoke to Sir Godfrey of Argynvost, who explained to you that the beacon of Argynvost, which is on top of the Argynvost Holt, their mansion, is what needs to be lit in order for them to rest eternally. They are revenants and they are bound to this area because of Strahd's curse on them. They have to be released that way. The beacon needs to be lit for them to be released. However, their current leader, Vladimir Horngard, he's not interested in killing Strahd, in fact, or killing Strahd or lighting the beacon, because, in fact, he believes that by living in this way, Strahd is actually living out his punishment, forced to stay here forever. So there's a little bit of a philosophical debate going up here in Argynvost, but Godfrey wants you to light the beacon. He also believes that the beacon's light is so bright that it would have the power to light the sun sword. So not only is the beacon important for them, but it's important for you to get that sword lit. Additionally, there's another complication. The beacon can only be lit if the skull of Argynvost, the silver dragon, is put back to place in its mausoleum. Fortunately, that skull currently is being held in Ravenloft. And once you met with Esmeralda and she came towards the end of the session, she explained to you that she tracked down some of the werewolves. She was not able to kill their leader, Kirill, who was proved to be mighty strong. One of the werewolves, though, she was able to extract some information. Emil, who is the werewolf that has been detained in Castle Ravenloft, may have company. Rudolph von Richten, or as you knew him as Rictavio, has also been captured and has been brought to the dungeons of that castle. So if you want to get any more information from Rictavio or von Richten, you'd have to free him. And according to Esmeralda, she came here because she found some notes at his place. It seemed like it was left as like a just in case he never came back or met his demise, that there is a way to defeat Strahd for good, which is something that's been, I'm sure, on the minds of all the characters over the last several weeks in the game, because they learned that basically Strahd has been doing this forever and he's almost invincible, cannot be killed. Orel has tried. So with this new knowledge, I believe we are trying to set a plan as to how maybe to potentially get the Skull of Argynvost and these prisoners, and maybe even have to do a little break-in at Ravenloft. So we're going to pick it right up from here. We are in Argynvostholt right now with Esmeralda. In fact, you're in the mausoleum, or maybe just leaving the mausoleum. It's your call, but we'll pick it up right from here. Group, what do you say to Esmeralda's idea about saving von Richten?
Well, as Esmeralda, as we have mentioned, we have many tasks at Castle Ravenloft. So I believe it would be in our best interest as well to infiltrate so that we can accomplish these missions.
I agree with Canas. Rictavio, yes. Von Richten is an expert in killing vampires. And this one, this evil, this scourge on this land, the one we are trying so hard to kill, he is a vampire. I think we should go and we should see if Rictavio would be willing to join us in our fight.
I agree. We should rescue him. We may need allies to help us now. Also, if we are to rescue this dragon's skull to light the beacon.
So Esmeralda looks at all of you after you kind of, in somewhat, agree with her that, Rictavio may be the best bet. She says, not only is he a vampire hunter, but he's an expert in that of the supernatural. You see, Rictavio, as you called him, has spent most of his life hunting creatures like the ones that roam these lands. I've never seen anyone track down a beast more efficiently and ruthless as Rictavio can.
How will we find him once we're inside the castle?
From what I've gathered, it seems that he's being kept in the dungeons. No doubt, down below.
Have you been to the castle? Do you know the layout? We've
I have never been
briefly
to the
seen a model.
I have never been to the castle before in my life. As I mentioned before, I left here as a child. I have very few recollections of this place. Although, I've learned a lot from von Richten and his notes.
Perhaps we should contact somebody who's been to the castle before to help us with this. We don't want to go wandering in.
Whom do you know that has been to the castle before?
Well, there was that old man. The depressive.
Aurel.
Yes. Perhaps we could inspire him to help us.
Where is Aurel?
In Krezk.
Ah,
Where we
I was just
come
there.
from.
Yes, the burgomaster spoke highly of you.
Ah, I suppose you were there as well.
Briefly, yes, I was there. We could backtrack quickly, go to this place, pick up your friend Aurel.
It will be hard to transport a large skull of a dragon from the castle now. Maybe we need to talk to Keepers of the Feather.
I don't believe the dragon skull is worth even caring about. It should be the goal to get von Richten out of his cell, and nothing else.
Who do we need to light this sword, the sun sword?
You believe lighting some beacon will do that?
That is what we've been told.
Huh.
The only
don't
lead we
believe it.
have.
Who gave you this lead? The undead creatures in the house?
Sir Godfrey Gwynnon.
As I said, the undead tasked you with the quest.
Yes.
Hmm.
They're enemies of Strahd.
So be it, but I believe it would be dangerous to go try and bring a silver dragon's skull out of one of the most fortified castles.
Well, maybe we talk to Aurel. Perhaps he'll know where it is.
I'm interested to meet this Aurel as well.
Well, let's go. We're well rested.
Who are you standing here?
Actually, I think none of you are very well rested. Am I correct?
No, we took a long rest in the
Yeah, you
mausoleum.
said we took a rest in the mausoleum.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yes. So then you can leave. You can leave at the morning. Then, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to do your long rest right now, Michelle. I don't know if you.
I
happen
did
to do
not.
that.
Good to
Okay.
know. Yes, I'll do that now.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think everybody was pretty low on resources. So
Definitely due for a rest.
yeah. Okay, so take your long rest, and as a reminder, we don't heal back full. You have to take hit dice. So roll your hit dice, and you'll get half of your hit dice back at the end of the rest. In the morning, you head out. Esmeralda will lead the way. She has her horse as well, so she's kind of leading from the front, and you'll follow her. She'll go slow, obviously, and Irina and any NPC that wants to or needs to. I guess not just NPCs, any character that needs to could take turns on the horse if they are injured. Was anybody actually like seriously injured in that battle? I can't remember.
Well,
I wasn't hit at all.
You weren't.
a lot
hit.
of us were knocked down, right?
Yeah, knocked down. Yeah.
With the undead, but
Oh,
there were no
yes.
no
But
horrible
against
injuries.
the spiders, no.
No.
Right. Okay, so if any character needs to take breaks or something like that, maybe Irina would. She'll rest on the horse as they head back. It'll take you a good portion of the day, though you will arrive still with some time before dusk, although you wouldn't see it. And you'll get back to the gates of Krezk. The guards will let you in. They recognize you as you're now heroes of Krezk, and you head into the town. You can get to Aurel's house rather quickly. As we mentioned, it's the first house. So Orel, what do you think Orel would be doing? Dasha, Orel, what do you think Orel would be doing while these people come in towards the end of the, I guess maybe something like 4 or 5 o'clock at night?
In the evening.
Evening, yeah.
Yeah. He's probably relaxing inside. Maybe there's a fire going and drinking some goat's milk, as per usual.
Classic goat's milk. Got the goat's milk ready to go. Relaxing. Thinking, at least no more adventures today.
Exactly.
All right, everybody, you can approach.
There's a knock at the door.
Rel sighs loudly, not happy to be disturbed in his hour of evening relaxation, but he'll kind of like stand up and walk towards the door and open it just a crack.
I imagine it's like you just sat down too. Like you got your goat's milk, you made your white Barovian, you sit down. You like it's like the
Rufus strolls right in and sits down at a table.
Oh,
Hello, Orel.
You push past him?
No, don't push past him. But
Yeah. I opened the door like this much.
Well,
barely. No, he's like peeking out. Like he thinks it's one of the village children come to ask for like vegetables from the garden or something their mom sent them. But when he sees you all, he's looked genuinely shocked. You back so soon?
Orel, we need to speak with you urgently. Can we please come in?
Yes, come in. Tell me what has happened. He'll open the door and yeah, you
And
see the
Rufus
nice...
will push past.
I'm already in there. I've got my goat's milk already.
Did you go through the window?
Yeah, when the door opened, he pushed past.
As we're walking in, Dione wants to like look over her shoulder just to make sure we haven't been followed. Do I see any sign of any movement, anything untoward that looks suspicious behind us?
Nothing that would cause you any sort of pause. But you know the people of the town are looking. You were here just a few nights ago, and you saved a whole maybe like half a dozen children that were stuck in the werewolf den. So you're heroes. When you come back, the kids are happy to see you, and you can see that the parents of the children they're like, you can see that they're like waving to you all, and they're ecstatic that you're here.
How's Camilla?
Oh right, yeah, Camilla, yeah. Her fever has broke. She's a little bit better. She's weak, but she sits up when you first walk in, and I guess there's not much room in this apartment we've discussed. So when you sit down, Rufus, you sit down right next to Camilla, and she looks much better. The color has returned to her. She just looks like she's, like recovered from the stomach flu or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. She goes, "Oh, Rufus. So glad to see you all. You've come back for me."
Good to see you. We're gonna try and help you by rescuing the fellow we need.
Email.
Who? Email.
Yes.
Wait. Wasn't he? No. Wait. You said email, right?
Yeah.
Well, remember, email's in Castle Ravenloft.
That's why we're here. Orel,
looks very...
You've been to Ravenloft. We need to go to Ravenloft to rescue Emil, to help Camilla, to rescue our friend Rick Tavia, who's been taken, who knows how to kill Strahd once and for all, and also to bring back a very large silver dragon skull, so my sword will activate. Apparently, that will do it according to the people at Argenholst. So what say you? You ready to, one last time, find the way to kill Strahd once and for all?
Orel is, as you were saying this, his eyebrows are just continually like rising up his forehead, and he looks to Canas and Laurent and Dione and says, "Did you all stop at the village tavern on the way here? Has your friend had too much to drink?
No,
you should get some rest."
Esmeralda. Esmeralda, explain.
She'll be the last to come in. She'll be the last to walk in. Maybe the door is still open. Dione walked in, Canas walked in. Laurent at the end. And she was kind of saddling up her horse and getting everything situated with that. And finally strides in. And Dasha, I don't know that your character has ever met Esmeralda, correct?
I don't think so.
No. So, yeah, because you weren't a part of any of the tower episodes. So, no. But you recognize her because she was here just yesterday. She spoke to the burgomaster briefly, stopped for a short rest, had some goat's milk, and then headed out. So you don't know much about her. She seemed a little mysterious to you in the fact that she looks and dresses like a Vistana, but then seemed to talk to the burgomaster and was very friendly, and then left. She is. Go ahead, Stefano.
Orel. I was hoping to bring this up a little more delicately, but as Rufus has told you everything that we plan to do.
Time is of the issue. We must act swiftly.
We are hoping to have a quick infiltration of the castle. In and out, complete the missions and free the prisoners and bring back the skull. We know nothing of Castle Ravenloft, so we were hoping to recruit your knowledge of the inside of the keep.
It seems you all have gained a sudden death wish.
It's just a castle.
Why would you return there? I have told you how dangerous it is. I have told you how deadly it can be. This is a foolish endeavor.
Perhaps as long as we are stuck here, there is not too much to live for.
Aurora, look at Esmeralda. Did you put them up to this?
She's
they
like
were
looking
fine
around.
Yesterday, and now you're with them. And what's going on?
She looks around your apartment and she kind of lifts her nose to everything. She's like, and she wipes her finger along the baseboards and above the door frame, flicks the dust. And she says, "This is the mighty hero Orel you spoke of, huh?" She looks at your dingy armor. That's you put it on like a whatever like a bust or a mannequin or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she looks at it. It's like super dingy and old, and she's like, "This is the mighty hero."
This mighty hero was defeated and has gone into retirement.
Ah, yes. It looks like it, he says. But if Von Richten has taught me anything, he's told me to never judge a book by its cover. And so I'm going to give you a fair shake of it. I'm Esmeralda de Avenir, and she extends her hand out to you for a handshake.
I'll take it. Give her a handshake.
You can sense she's almost gauging your strength by it. She wants to feel that you have some thrusting power if you were to wield a sword.
Yeah. He's still got a firm handshake. He's not super frail.
Right. And she says, "So, from what they've told me, you've defeated Strahd in the past, and yet he's come back to life."
Which is why I am in retirement. It is useless to try, and I've told them many times.
But tell Orel about Rictavio.
Do you recall a traveling bard by the name of Rictavio that's come around these parts?
Would Aurel have... I assume he would remember if it's...
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Never in Krezk, but in Vallaki, so it's up to you. I don't know how well-traveled you'd have been in the last few years.
Probably not the last few years, no. If it was earlier when he was still young, then yes,
no.
But not recently. Then no.
He's about your age, so... No, you probably don't know him then, I would say. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
She says, though, "Well, if you haven't, that's okay. He's the most accomplished monster hunter that I know."
Good for you. I have also traveled with very accomplished monster hunters. And as I said, we defeated Strahd. But He comes back every time. What makes you think this bard of yours will be any different?
Well, he's no bard.
You've got to get his ring or whatnot, you know? There's some kind of thing you have to do as well. Let's kill him.
Rufus, you keep mentioning this ring. I've never heard of this ring that Strahd has. What are you talking about?
That's just an example. There was a tale when I was told when I was younger.
A tale from the Gwaindire?
The Gwaindire. I told you the Gwaindire tale. There was a vampire, not in the Gwaindire, we don't know if there's such things, but in a neighboring city-state, they had a vampire.
Camilla's like back. On the edge of her seat, and she's like, "Ooh, tell us a story. Tell us a story, Rufus."
Well, they had a vampire. It kept coming back. Was killed by the bow. Was killed by the sword. The next day, was back, head of its undead army. Got to the capital city, and was assailing the capital city. But the night before the attack, one of its minions stole its ring. A great thief, disguised as its minion, came out from the town and stole this ring that we thought had something to do with it and destroyed it. The next day, during the attack, the vampire beast scaled the wall of the tallest tower, and the great theologian, the head of the religion of the city, crashed into the vampire, and they fell off the tower together and were skewered on a pole in the bottom through the heart. The vampire did not come back. We accounted it to the destruction of the ring, as the tale was told. The vampire's essence was somehow contained in that piece of jewelry. So Strahd may have a ring or some other such thing.
I actually know
we need to destroy.
I've heard tales of a mighty evil boar, and the hero of time was the one who was supposed to kill him with the master sword, but it was the princess's light arrow that actually turned him to dust.
Camilla's like, "What story is this from?"
Oh, it's an old legend. I think his name was something with a G. Gammon.
Bob has no idea what the story is, so.
Gamelon, the legend of no, it wasn't the legend of Esmeralda, your Esmeralda. I can't remember.
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's copywritten. That's why Stefano doesn't want to say it. I don't know. Esmeralda says, "Well, that's all fine. That's possibly what's happening here. I can't tell you for sure. All I know is that I, as an apprentice of von Richten, came across some of his notes. It seems as though he left some information behind in case something happened to him. He claims, and I believe him, that he has found a way to destroy the devil himself permanently." And she emphasizes that as she gets closer to you. "We desperately need your help. If there's a way to get into the castle and navigate to find the dungeon to free him, we might be able to use whatever knowledge he has to kill Strahd for good."
Oh, Rel, you have dedicated a portion of your life trying to defeat Strahd. You did, and he came back. But that one final time you felt that you could defeat him for good. And unfortunately, the Abbot of Krezk is the one that ruined your plan. If we can give you that chance, just even that slight chance to defeat him for good one more time, we need you.
Thoughtfully. And you are all willing to risk your lives and the lives of your dependents, looking at Camilla, on this gamble, this inference that the man in prison there has information that is truly going to end Strahd once and for all. You are all willing to do this?
Yes, well, Irina will stay here because it'd be too dangerous for her to come.
This is the first she's hearing of this.
Obsession with her.
What? What do you mean? Of course I'm going with you.
I don't think it would be wise to march into Strahd's castle. Your presence could somehow alert him to our presence, because he has some kind of link to you, it seems.
But you'll need everybody. You'll need all hands on deck.
Well, somebody needs to stay and take care of Camilla.
I'm going too. What do you mean? I'm feeling great. She stands up and gets like lightheaded and sits right back down. Oh, I'll be better in the morning, I swear.
You see,
Camilla, please, you've got to rest up. As soon as we get back, we're going to get you better.
I ask my question again. Are you each willing to risk it? I know you are, Rufus. You've made that very clear. But the rest of you? And he'll look to, like, he wants an answer from each person individually.
I am 100%.
I don't see that we have much of a choice.
Yes, exactly. Dione will nod at Laurent. We have no other option. This is the way.
hurrah and huzzah.
Aurel will look at Camilla and say, as long as the young one stays. I, as you said, gave most of my life to fighting Strahd. If this is a gamble with death, then I suppose it's only appropriate that I give my death for this as well.
Then we're all agreed, Esmeralda kind of celebrates. We do need some more help, though, she says to you and kind of looks to the group. There are people here called the Keepers of the Feather.
We did discuss a distraction.
Yes. And
Well,
perhaps their ability to fly.
To carry the skull that we will retrieve.
Yeah.
That could be handy.
The skull?
We're going to retrieve the dragon skull as well.
Oh, here we go again. I'm not quite sure who sent you on this fool's errand, but the skull is not important. Inconsequential.
Gwaindire said we need the skull to light the beacon in Argynvost, and if we do this, we'll be able to light this sword, which is the only thing that can kill Strahd's physical form. Ergo, we need that skull.
Aurel sent you on this, so Aurel, this is the first you're hearing that they have succeeded in going to Argynvost.
Yes, they're a rather pleasant lot.
I'm glad you made it through Argynvost Hold, but do you realize how large a dragon skull is?
But that's why we need...
Smuggling a prisoner out of Ravenloft, yes, this may be achievable, though the chances are slim. But a dragon skull?
But that's why we need these feather people. They can transform into flying ravens and carry it.
Does anyone have the ability to reduce its size? A magic spell, perhaps?
I do not.
I look at Dione.
Yes. Perhaps I can help you with this. As you may know, my people, the Dweller, we specialize in changing our size and the size of others.
Can you do it like casting the spell, or is it just an ability that you can do to yourself?
A creature or an object you can see. So I can...
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
These things.
So when you do that, are you using the racial ability, or is it just count as casting reduce?
Yeah, it's Dwergar magic. So it's specifically tied to race. And then reduce, it says the target size is halved in all dimensions and the weight is reduced to 1/8. So it's not like I can't make it like pocket size. But at least more manageable.
Bob's like, damn it.
No, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, enlarge, reduce spell with this trait.
Bob's just adding some more enemies for us to have to fight through.
No. I'm not gonna jip you out of this, but I thought there was a catch with this. I'm looking online, and this is just again a Google search real quick. It says yes, Dwergar can cast enlarge, reduce, but only the enlarge option. Is this true?
Only the enlarge option.
It says a spell can only be cast by Dwegar and only works in the enlarge option. That's what I'm seeing. That's what like Google AI is telling me. So I can't trust that. I'm gonna look it up. Just
Google
word
AI
on,
is
but-
not.
I'm looking at the community wiki, and it says you can cast an enlarge reduce spell of this trait without retiring a material component.
Yeah.
What's a community wiki?
I don't know, but it's saying what I want it to say, so it must be right.
Ah, that's
Elizabeth
the
Source.
that's the way of the Gwaindire.
Mhm. Our data is only cherry picked.
It's from the top link in a search. That's it.
Right.
I'll find it in a minute. But okay, yeah. Listen. I am not against you. I'm not trying to jip you. If you can do it, that's an incredible ability. That would be, I would say, normally in D&D, people would completely overlook and be like, what do I need this for? And it will be very, very helpful right now.
Yeah. Didn't even occur to me, so good call.
If that's the case, that is going to make it an eighth of the size. So, or an eighth of the weight. Is it?
Yes, eighth of the weight, half the size.
Okay. Okay. I have the exact weight. I know how much it actually weighs. So when you cast the spell, I'll tell you what it becomes.
Nice.
If you live long enough. Do that.
Esmeralda, did you say there were keepers of the feather here in Krezk? We have met some in Vallaki.
She actually brings this up because you brought it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we would, I believe that we need to seek their aid.
And you know of the leadership? They are from Vallaki?
Yes. It's a raven, or a man by the name of Irwin.
Irwin.
He is the one who told us about the Keepers of the Feather. And he seems to have much to discuss. And that they are an alliance that is fighting against Strahd. So I believe that if we can ascertain this information that may defeat him for good, they would be certainly interested in helping us.
Well, if that's the case, then we'll have to convince them. Pack up, Orel. We're headed for a long journey. Prepare your armor. He dusts off some dirt on your armor.
Keeps his armor immaculate. Like it's old, but it's clean.
She still wipes her finger along it and does this with her scrubs her fingers like this and flicks off whatever. Even if she's not, she's doing it just for show.
What type of armor is it?
Splint is what he has.
Splint?
Double check.
Yeah, I think it was.
Rufus is gonna kill Orel for that split.
Just in case something was to happen to a row.
It is,
I don't want Splint's
Yikes.
I just checked. It is a splint armor, and he also has a cloak of protection, which he wears.
Ooh, that's a sweet item if you die.
Just
Yeah.
FYI, yeah. If I do die, I would.
If
prefer
something
someone-
were to happen,
So if I were to die by Strahd, go for it. Please don't kill me.
My Stefano's plan is that Orel survives this
that's
journey.
the goal.
I trust Stefano's. I don't know if I trust Rufus's plan. He really.
Oh,
loves
Splint
the
is
armor.
good. Splint is 17 AC.
Oh, he's looking it up.
That's not making me feel better.
In the Gwaindire, we always kill our friends for their armor.
Rufus is literally rubbing his hands together.
He just
Just
goes.
good to be
"Oh."
aware of these things.
He's just looking down. And he's like, "Oh, Splint is good. 17."
This is vintage Splint too.
Oh. Also, Orel, I don't think anybody's seen it yet, but you do have some magical weapons too, right? You have a magical dagger?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
I'm not aware of this. But okay, wait, what is that from?
It's the dagger that you got in the first episode of Supernatural 20. It's the one that lets you see into the darkness. It gives you dark vision.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Mhm.
Did I
Oh
give
my
that away
god,
already?
another really useful thing for Rufus.
Bob, correct me if I'm wrong. Did I not give that to someone else in the Supernatural 20 crew at some point?
Oh, maybe like at the end of. Oh, wait. At the end of the season 1, you might have.
I think I gave it to someone.
I
I
already
gave
got.
away I gave away some stuff before they left me in Barovia. I know I gave Bear like my token of pay lore. I might have given the dagger away as well because I don't see it in my inventory right now.
We got to
but-
go to the videotape and find out who you gave that to for Vecna, because that could be very important for Vecna.
Hey, chat, if you feel like rewatching Ravenloft, particularly the last like 10 minutes of it, let us know if Arel gives the dagger away.
Yes, if anybody out there
Nah,
knows, comment.
watch all 7.5 hours.
Watch the whole thing.
It was
yeah.
6. It was 6
In
hours.
fact, just watch the whole season of Supernatural 20 just in case he gave it away earlier. Yeah.
Yes.
Let
Not
us know.
also not the longest stream we've had.
Oh, is that still the finale of
I
the
thi-
Avernus?
I think it's still the Avernus finale.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the 7.5 hour.
That was 7.5 hours.
It's a good
The
stream.
Ravenloft was only 6 hours.
Say, I don't think I have the dagger on me unless I'm misremembering and I just need to add it to inventory, but I do have that cloak of protection.
I think you're right. I think you now that you said that, I'm remembering because I think you thought you'd never play Orel again. You're like, here, you have this, you have this,
You get a
but
dagger, you get a magical item, everybody gets something.
but you did keep that cloak of protection for yourself. Wow.
I do keep the cloak. I think I forgot that I was wearing it, to be honest, just because it's so familiar now.
So cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Yes, and Tim just in our private chat messaged enlarge reduce. So I think it does work. It can cast enlarge reduce once, correct?
Yeah, it seems like it. My
Okay.
understanding.
Okay.
Is everybody on the same page or no?
It seems like she can cast it.
Yeah, it says starting at 3rd level, you can
Yeah.
cast enlarge reduce spell on yourself with this trait without require. Oh, on yourself.
But then Dione, Michelle found one that says you can cast on a creature object you can see within range. So we're finding two different sources here.
Yeah, the one I found though, I just copied it straight off of D&D Beyond.
Well,
Is-
we can figure it out for next time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It won't. Well, it might affect your plan and where you go, but at the same time, either way, the plan is still going to be to get the skull, right? Regardless of how you do it. Okay. All right. So we'll look it up. We'll make sure that's correct. And Michelle, are you looking at the enlarge reduce spell, or are you looking at the Dwergar traits? Want to just send the link to wherever you are?
Sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just in my character sheet. It says Dwergar magic at the top. Legacy, 2nd level transmutation. I don't know. It's displaying like a spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look it up. We'll make sure that that's
Yeah.
100% the case. If not, we can always just tweak it a little bit if you need to. Like, if you want to change your plan based on that, we can do that.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
We can
So-
always get them and be like, it's heavy, actually. Let's not bother.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean that way, but yes. Yeah. All right. So let's do this then. So everybody, I don't think there's anything you need to specifically do in Krezk, but Orel, are you going to do anything before leaving, gathering your
Oh.
things?
I wouldn't mind actually, let me. Arel, the wow that the abbot did.
The one
What's
you
that,
broke.
Andrew? Andrew, you there?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you don't mess with Strahd, everybody.
It's back.
I cut out. Arel, the wow that the abbot made, is that holy water? Is it regular water?
Bob, I'm not sure. Was it holy water?
I mean, what is holy water, really?
Does it have any power against the undead?
Would I know this information?
I don't think you would.
Yeah. It couldn't hurt to take some with us, but I can't vouch for whether it will be effective against the undead.
Well, I think we should go and fill our water holders with it before we go, just in case.
Can't hurt.
By
Not
the
a
way,
bad idea.
I think I found the ruling here, and I think I know exactly what the issue is. And it's basically because Wizards of the Coast decided to reprint the Dwergar race like 3 times. So this does happen actually with some races. They'll get like facelifts, so to speak, as the edition moves on. So, like for instance, Tim, what you quoted there, and I see that it's from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, which came out early in, like very, very early in D&D's 2014 edition. And that says the same wording about Dwergar magic. You can cast it on yourself. I don't remember when this came out exactly, but it was certainly, within the last 5 years. Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one that had like the Tasha's Cauldron method of changing your ability scores, and that's the most recent one. You can even tell because the Dwergar walking speed is 30, not 25. And this one says that when you cast the enlarge reduce spell, period. So that's the one that she has on her character sheet, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
your
you
walking
made
speed
your
is 30.
character using Mordenkainen's presents Monsters of the Multiverse version, which honestly is better because the older Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, most people don't use that, and that's really more of a region source book. So it actually makes more sense that you use the standard Dwergar. So we're gonna go with that, obviously. So that does make a big difference, but I think it's a good difference. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hooray! Tiny
Yay.
skull.
Well,
How long
half.
does it stay shrunk for?
Oh. Yes. Oh, I see. So it's concentration. The duration is up to 1 minute.
We gotta hustle.
That'll be a race.
Sprint out of
We
the
will
castle.
hustle out of there.
Well, this might segue perfectly to the discussion with the Keepers of the Feather. So, let's do that. So
Before they leave Krezk, Arel will just dig out his last will and testament from a drawer somewhere and take it to the burgomaster.
No
in
faith.
case. Oh, he fully thinks he's gonna die right here. And he's gonna make sure Camilla stays back. He won't let her come on this. It's not safe.
Irina talks to Rufus privately after this decisions are all made and everything, and everybody rests and maybe is sleeping. So maybe what we could do here is you could probably just completely go back to full. You can restore your hit dice. You'll take another rest, and that'll be a full rest, essentially. And Irina will take Rufus aside and say to Rufus, as it's nighttime now and everybody's kind of getting ready for bed, she says, "I understand the desire to keep me safe." She says, and I will stay here in Krezk and make sure that Camilla doesn't get into trouble. The last thing I want is her trying to follow you and...
Yes, yes.
But, she says, I would prefer that if we could make these decisions together. She grasps your hands and stares at you.
Oh.
We're
Yes.
a team, Rufus.
I'm
And she
just
says-
concerned for your safety. And everyone's safety, I mean.
She says, we're a team. And she looks around, like, towards the rest of the people in the distance. I mean, all of us, a partnership.
Yes. Perhaps I might give you this to keep safe. I'll take out the picture. This is a picture of myself and the Lord Gwaindire, my brother Rupert.
Hold on, wait. He's got a picture of himself.
Who doesn't? Come on.
It's my item, remember? A pair of twins.
Oh,
A
right.
picture of
Oh, my
twins.
gosh. Wait, no. This is so much more normal. Yes. I thought he had, like,
You gave me the
headshots
item.
from the Gwaindire.
Just a selfie. Carries around with him. Come on.
No, I'm sorry, Andrew. I messed that whole scene up. You're 100% right. This is way more sentimental. It is
Yeah.
not. Go ahead.
Perhaps you might keep it safe.
Autographed.
If something was to happen, I would hate the idea of it staying in the castle of the vampire. And if I don't return, you'll have something to remember me by. And the group, of course.
She'll she'll take the photo and she'll look at it, look up at you, and she goes, "Is this your brother?"
Yes, my brother Rupert.
She goes jokingly, she goes, "He's very handsome."
Well, we are twins.
Oh, this is funny. She says,
So
I will hold on to this and keep it safe.
Thank you.
Perhaps it's time that we retire."
Yes, yes.
She'll kind of look at you and then nervously go, "All right, well then, good night," and she walks off.
I just kind of sit there looking awkward.
This is painful to watch.
Dione's skin is crawling with secondhand embarrassment.
Ah, I love it.
She can't look at Rufus right now.
So she goes into Orel's home and everybody goes to sleep. All right. You wake up in the morning and you head off to Vallaki. Vallaki, it's been a while since you've been there, so let me give you a run of this place. When you approach, you can hear the sounds of the town. It sounds busy, bustling. When you get there, the gates are opened. There are no guards at the top, as this seemed to be the plan of Lady Voctor all along, right? She wanted to have an open door policy. Because why do you need gates when Strahd is protecting you? So you walk in, and there's no guards, but you can see the town is very much like you left it a few weeks ago, except you notice that there are more Voctor guards mixed in. So there's people with the Voctor patch. You can see people that are walking around that they seem to have some sort of air of authority, although it really looks more like small little gangs, kind of like making sure that the street, rules of the street are enforced. And you'll see some familiar faces. I wouldn't say you see anybody that's a personal friend of yours right now, but you can start walking through town. And how do you want to do this? Are you trying to hide, or is it something that you're just kind of like, I mean, if you see somebody, you're going to duck for cover, and it's probably also closer to evening again when you get here, so it's maybe just a touch darker than it would be when you got to Vallaki.
I feel like given that we stole the stuff out of Wagner's house, didn't leave on the best terms, we might not want to advertise our presence.
What did we steal?
The sword and the bones.
Wasn't that from the
Voctor house?
No, that was in the orphanage.
No.
No, at the end, the Keepers of the Feather told us to go investigate the Wagner house.
Oh, shoot.
And
it was in her bedroom.
We had a run-in with the butler guy. We had to,
That's what it was.
him.
Yep.
Ernst.
Yeah. You might want to just sneak to the pub.
Yeah, so if we're trying to sneak, let's do I guess you could do it one of two ways, really. You could try to blend in, or you could try to literally, stealth your way there. How do you want to play this?
Let's blend in.
If I recall correctly, there aren't many dwarves in Vallaki. Is that correct?
Most everybody in Barovia is human. There are a few non-human species, but if I would say 90% is human.
Okay. Then if we're going for blending in, as Laurent suggests, Dione's going to put herself in the center of the group so that all the human height folks are around her. So hopefully people won't notice the dwarf in the middle.
Okay. Cool. So if you're going to blend in or stealth, try to make it hide in plain sight, we'd have to do some different maneuvering here. How do you want to do it?
Orel will just put his cloak up and have it cover most of his face.
The rest of you?
I mean, you guys want to go with the blend-in option, right?
Yeah, that's the fun option. Come on.
Okay.
Laurent would cast disguise self on himself to look like an innocuous, regular citizen, legitimate Vincent adult man working at the business factory.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's actually the best disguise. Just using magic.
Canas completely shaves in Vallaki. No, sorry, in Krezk before going to Vallaki.
What do you have normally? A beard or?
A really long, scraggled, gray beard.
Wow, same as Orel's.
No, I don't want to shave.
Goes to a
All right, so
tight
you don't have
goatee.
He does it. He shaves.
You do shave. You shave. Yeah. One day I'm gonna shave. I've been. Growing this
He's
beard
gonna.
for a
You know
few
what? He's gonna shave and cut his hair.
Okay.
So he has a short. He has a short cut now, and he's clean shaven.
Real. Oh, I like this. This is a nice little character change right now. Yeah, all business.
Rufus has cut his hair so it's like it was in the picture. You know, so
He
looks
needed a
bit
trim.
different as well.
Handsome.
Yeah, he wanted to refresh his haircut.
He
Got
needed
long
a
and
trim.
scraggly.
What'd you say, Dasha?
After Irina said he looked handsome in that photo.
Ah, yeah. Gotta look suave. And Michelle, you're gonna be just huddled. Dione's gonna be huddled in the middle.
Well, maybe like if everyone's doing all this like grooming and salon type stuff, I guess maybe Dione will try and pass herself off as just a a very stout human child. Uh,
You also
Yes.
shave your whole beard.
Yes.
so Dione will also shave off her glorious, majestic beard.
What?
Because I mean, it would only take, like maybe 5 minutes of concentrated effort to grow it back. It's in her blood. So it's no big deal. Um, and
This seems like a
yeah.
big deal for a dwarf.
I mean, it's horrific, yes, but like, isn't beard growing like just part of their DNA? Like,
What?
I feel like it would grow back without too much difficulty.
I will say it does just grow back, yes, but it's you mourn the loss. It's like losing a friend.
That's
Of
how the war
course.
between the elves and the dwarves started. The elves shaved the dwarven king's beard.
Oh, wow. Well, yes. I mean, I was also gonna say Dione definitely like braids it and keeps it. So we're not saying goodbye forever. So Dione will like braid it, tie it off, and then maybe like just like tuck it into her pack. You never know, maybe it'll be useful as like a very short rope one day. And then
Passersby in Krezk just look into Arel's windows that night and just see 5 people all shaving their beards. Arel will do it too. He'll jump on the bandwagon. He'll shave his beard.
Oh
Wow.
man. Hashtag clean shaven gang. That's what we got here. Oh man. Wow. Team trim. I like it.
Writing
All
that
right.
down.
Yune will also shave.
Bob, I think we need some merch with those
You
hashtags.
heard it, everybody. We're all shaving now. By the way, this episode is sponsored by Manscaped. Get your mower 2.0.
Look at that.
All right, Eunig, stay invisible, okay?
You got it.
Yune's like, oh dang, why did I shave? Well, now we got this all decided. You start to go through the town. Give me we're gonna go with deception checks here. Charisma or deception, whatever you have there for that. Deception checks as you try to, look different. I would also accept performance if you had that and would prefer. Tim, you get
16 for Laurent.
and Tim, you get advantage because you're magically changed.
Ooh.
Oops.
Call out your
19
numbers.
for Laurent.
19.
Dione got a 10.
17.
Nice.
7.
7. Actually, Aurel, I'm not going to have you make a check because nobody's looking for you. So you wouldn't negatively affect the group. And Rufus.
10.
10. All right. Let's see. So you are spotted. Yeah. You're walking through town, and you maybe pause for a second. You see the burgomaster's house. It looks like it has been... Do you remember in the first... I forget episode now, but like in the village of Barovia, remember how the burgomaster's mansion there, Irina's house, basically, was like assaulted? It looks like werewolves had been... and vampires had been like attacking it, and it looked like the house had been, like just under siege. That's what the burgomaster's house looks like now. You can see a lot of the siding of the house has been torn off. Windows are all broken. Looks like they've boarded up the windows, and even then some of them have been destroyed and broken off. The roof seems like it's now sagging more. It looks as though the townsfolk have done a number, or at least maybe the enforcers have really thoroughly searched that house up and down. You'll also see that there's the attic window that you were looking out of at one point when you met with the son who was up in the attic. It looks like that window has been broken, and clearly the attic has been searched at this point, that secret attic compartment. So it seems like the town, as you're watching this, the townsfolk who are passing you by on the street, one bumps into you and recognizes the group. Maybe Rufus, because you failed the check. And it's Angelica. She says,
Thank God.
Of course it is.
"Oh, by the stars, Rufus."
Hello. It is I, Rufus.
Do you say
How
that?
are you?
She goes, "Rufus!" And she gets a little louder now. Esmeralda says, "No, he's not Rufus. He's..."
No, this is Angelica, our friend. It's the matter with Angelica.
It is,
Try
but
to keep
shh.
a low profile. Only going to be here a short time. How's the orphanage going?
She looks around, and you see some people maybe trying to maneuver around this group now, and they're looking at you. They don't seem to recognize you, but there's townfolk walking by you.
Let's keep moving.
Walk and talk. Walk and talk.
She goes, "Yes, we can walk and talk. What are you doing? Why are you hiding?"
Not on great terms with the Vagners.
"Oh, I did hear that someone broke into the Voctor's house just before you left."
Yes, it may have been us.
"The orphanage is going okay. It seems like Lady Voctor is more concerned with the dealings in town than the orphanage. But it's only a matter of time before she tries to meddle. I worry that the children are in danger."
Well, I'm glad you're doing your best. We're trying to change things for the better in the whole land.
"Oh? How so?"
Well, we can't talk about it, but have hope.
"It's very hard for us to have hope. You won't believe what happened the other day."
What happened?
She looks around to make sure nobody can hear this, and she says, "The devil was here."
The devil Strahd?
"Mm-hmm.
What did he do?
That's the strangest thing. We're not sure. He strolled in with his carriage, and he's done it seemingly every night."
Comes here every night.
Odd.
"I've only witnessed it once, but for the past few days, yes. He's been coming regularly. I think he's been meeting with the lady."
So he's not in the castle right now. This is interesting information indeed. He must not be in Castle Ravenloft. Too
Well,
far.
What?
That's
What-
worse for
what-
us that he's here.
About
Yes,
what
yes.
time did you see him?
It was a few nights ago. He came here and daylight, she wouldn't say broad daylight, but she would say midday. Strolled right through town. Got out of his carriage.
Did he interact with anyone or talk with anyone?
He did. Most people tried to avoid it. But those who he did, he scared quite quite badly. The strangest thing, I could swear I saw his shadow move independently from himself.
Yes, it does that.
Dione quickly looks down at Canas's feet. Does he still not have a shadow?
Correct.
Hmm.
Who are your friends?
Well, this is Esmeralda.
Esmeralda?
And I'm
And you,
Vincent
sir?
Adult Man. I'll shake my hand.
And this is Aral. Aral's from Krezk.
Yes. And your name, sir? Looking at Laurent.
Vincent,
Vincent. Last name?
Adult Man. I work at the business factory in the next town over.
Ah. Didn't realize we were in the business.
Everyone is next door.
She, like, looks at you again. She's like, Laurent?
This is the worst disguise ever.
It's
Is
just
that
a
3
mustache.
Laurents in a trench coat?
She goes, Orel, Esmeralda, welcome to Vallaki.
Is the devil here now?
I'm not quite sure. He's been coming out every night since he's been here. But I have only heard that. I have only saw him the day he arrived. It was 3 or 4 days ago.
Who's been discussing that he's been here every night? Who did you hear that from?
The townsfolk. It's all people can talk about. The devil was spotted. The devil went to this establishment, or whatever. They're just discussing it. It's all the talk.
He's reveling in his ability to cause fear now.
Exactly.
He's shown
And I
that he
worry
is in
that he'll be
charge
headed
now.
to the orphanage. Perhaps that's one of his business stops.
Well, he's trying to
looks
cause you
terrified.
fear. It's best to just carry on.
Well,
Then.
I'll let you
Or
go, but
destination.
I'm quite scared, and the fact that there is hope on the way. Good.
Does the devil show up at the same time every night?
From what I've heard, just at around dusk.
Okay.
I'm not sure where he's staying or how long he plans on being here, but he seems to be parading around right in the open.
Interesting.
He's getting bold.
It's getting close to dusk right now, actually.
I bet.
Feels like a good time to run to his castle.
Let's I say we
All right.
move quickly if we're going to contact Erwin.
Angelica will bid you farewell, and you head to the Blue Water Inn. When you get to the Blue Water Inn, the tone of it is a little bit more somber. There's not as many patrons or customers, as more and more people are trying to avoid being out in that part of town, as that's what she said. Strahd was kind of parading himself around in. So more people, more or less, it's a somber tone. And you head into the inn and uncloak yourselves. And Erwin, first to greet you. He goes, well, if it isn't Rufus of the Gwaindire, Canas, Dione, Laurent. He says it in low tones. He doesn't make it a huge announcement like Angelica did. He goes, and you there? You look familiar. He talks to Orel. Do I know you?
Have met before, right?
You might have met before, maybe when you were younger. Maybe we're talking like decades ago. Yeah.
Is he? What age is he? Is he close to Orel's age, or?
No, he's probably younger than you. I think he's in his he's got young kids, so maybe like in his 30s.
So maybe because I think Orel interacted with the Keepers of the Feather in his previous missions. Maybe this guy was like a kid back then.
Yeah, actually, you might know his father better, Davian Mardukov, who was the Wizard of the Wine's proprietor.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He'll say that. He'll say, I believe I know your father, and may have met you once or twice when you were small.
Well, if you know my father, then you'll understand why he lives at the winery and I live here. He chuckles to himself.
Yes, I can understand that.
You know, family matters. Not always so easy. Well, if you're a friend of this group, then you're a friend at the Blue Water Inn. What can I help you with?
We may need... Can we speak in private?
He nods and will look to his wife, Danica. She'll, like, cover the front room, and the group can head into the back. And Esmeralda will introduce herself as she sits down. She says, "My name is Esmeralda the Avenir. I believe that you knew one of my colleagues, a man by the name of Rictavio. And as you sit down in his back room, this is where you had that first conversation with him. It's a small private room in the back, kind of like his office. You can see out onto the street where Laurent committed cold-blooded murder. You can see right out to the
So
spot
long
where
ago, and it was an accident.
Milovage died. But yeah, you can see that. And he says, "Yeah, I remember Rictavio, the troop master. Yes, he delighted us all with his songs and his interpretive dance." And
It seems that we may need to reach out to the Keepers of the Feather. We're going to need their help. We plan to infiltrate Castle Ravenloft.
he, like, spits out whatever wine he's got in his mouth. Classic comedic timing. He's like, "What? Are you out of your mind?"
Well, perhaps we are, but if we have any chance of defeating the devil Strahd, we need to get in, and we need to... We have a few tasks that we need to accomplish.
You've heard the devil is here right now.
We have been told.
He paid us a visit
Here?
not too long ago. Mm-hmm.
What was he asking for? Or about?
Just wanted to taste our wines, and we had to... Luckily, we don't have much vintage anymore because of the winery's struggles, but he knew what he was doing. He was here to intimidate us. I sensed that he already knew our affiliation.
I see.
He's like, "I have children. If I do anything to bring more attention, I know exactly how he'll hurt me."
What about your cohorts? You
They're
said
agents.
you said that your group is here to fight against the devil.
Yeah, well, right now, we're trying to lay a little low because, well, like I said, the devil's in town.
Well, it would be a good time to leave it, would it not?
You want me to leave here and invade Ravenloft? An invasion.
It's not an
It's
invasion.
a stealth mission.
It's
This is not a-
exploratory push.
Exploratory push.
A little
He
poke.
laughs. He laughs. He goes, "This is not a secret. It's not from the shadows. You want us to fly into the devil's den?"
Really, we want you to fly out.
What are you getting at?
We need your help. And there's not really a way we can do this without it. It's your best shot at defeating Strahd. Otherwise, the intimidation is going to continue for you and your children and their children.
Are you telling me that the Keepers of the Feather have given up?
Not quite. Tell me your plan.
Well, the plan depends on. I'm just wondering, do you know what is the speed of a laden keeper of the feather?
Fast, he says. Very fast.
Perfect. Then this may be perfect. And you know, Erwin, If our plan is successful, if we are able to defeat the devil, then there will be no one who wants to hurt you. In fact, you may be more safe if you help us to defeat him.
Go on.
Well,
We need to go ahead, sorry.
it seems that then Rictavio has been taken prisoner inside of Castle Ravenloft. We need to free him because he has information on how to destroy Strahd for good.
The bard. The singer.
Yes. Esmeralda, tell Erwin who he is.
He's the most talented supernatural hunter that I've ever met. He's been studying Strahd for most of his life, seeking revenge. Revenge for what, he says. She says, that's his secret to tell. And then he says, I love role-playing with myself. And then she says, me too. I enjoy it. And then he says, if that's the case, and we can find a way to kill this devil for good, what do you need us to do?
Well, we also need to take out a dragon skull from the castle, because that will help us light the weapon to destroy Strahd. So we'll need you to meet us there and transport it to some kind of conveyance, if you can supply us with a horse or cart or such like. Fair distance from the castle, so we can take it to where it needs to be.
Have you ever been to the castle?
No.
Your
I mean,
father,
I've seen it overhead.
has your father been?
Actually, yes, my father spent many a moon in the castle.
We would also want to enlist his help too then.
Well, that's going to be a problem.
Why?
My father and I don't speak to each other anymore.
But perhaps an intermediary you could send, another keeper of the feather. On our
I
behalf.
could send a message to him, but I don't believe he'll come.
He'll come. Tell him it is
Tell him
us.
it's for me.
He knows us.
For Orel?
Sign my name to the letter. I'll write the letter myself.
Interesting. He says, he sits up in his chair and he's like, here, take the parchment. And he passes you ink and paper and you start writing. He says, my father will suspect something. And when he sees that you've tried to put us together, it will only put him on the defensive. But perhaps you're right. He spent many moons in the castle. When he was a young man, when I was just a child, Strahd imprisoned him in the dungeons for months. He doesn't really talk about it much, but it seems like it's something that's always haunted him. Ever since, we've had a rift between the two of us, and it's just grown larger and larger. Other things got in the way, life and business decisions, but you don't really know him, though.
This is quite important. If he is familiar with the dungeons, that is exactly where we need to go.
We can send for him. Orel, the letter?
Yeah, in the letter he'll lay out the mission and he will acknowledge the trauma that he has from being in prison and basically say, I know this will be so hard for you to do, and I wouldn't ask you to do it knowing that unless there was any other way.
So you are laying out the plan that you're going to steal the skull and try to get some prisoners freed?
I'll lay out whatever part of the plan the group is comfortable with me sharing. Which maybe is it just one of those things that you guys want me to tell?
Arel, do you know where the skull is?
I was last in this castle decades ago. If there was a skull, perhaps there was a skull. I would not know its exact location. There were many artifacts stored in the castle.
Perhaps we can ask him about the skull as well.
Yeah, Aurel has never seen a skull. No. Mm-mm. But Aurel does know, I believe. I don't think you went to the dungeons either. You went to the catacombs, which are down below as well. So you have experience going deeper underground in the castle. You do have a knowledge of how to get underground. Although, like I said, it's been a long time since the last time you were there.
Yes.
So
yeah, we went underground, we went upstairs, and we were in the dining area.
Yeah, you've been all around, and I think I've told this to you outside of the game, but it's basically a huge mega dungeon. The whole castle is massive. So if you go the wrong way, you could find yourself basically not get, like you talk about want to get in and out minutes. We're talking about it would be impossible if you go the wrong way. So you got to be careful.
Well,
whatever you decide to do, it's got to be precise and kind of pre-planned.
Erwin, initially I thought perhaps some of your keeper allies would be able to cause a distraction to allow us to enter the castle. However, perhaps the fact that Strahd has been visiting Vallaki every day could be a boon to us. We might be able to go in when he is not there. And maybe what we need from the Keepers of the Feather is some sort of sign as to when it is time for us to enter, because Strahd is in Vallaki.
What kind of sign do you suggest?
Well,
you won't be able to see smoke signals from here.
Send one of your own to let us know.
Okay, he'll nod along. Yep. Mm-hmm. He says, so how do you plan to get in?
Well, that we will need
Your father.
that we will probably need the help of your father as well as Aurel.
But I mean, how do you plan to get into the castle? The castle walls are far too high for you to get into. He says, here, take a look at this. And what he'll do is he will... I think I can show you this. I don't want to show you something that you shouldn't see. Yeah, I can do this, I think, yeah. So he's going to take out a map that looks... It's less of a map and more of like a sketch, a blueprint sketch that he has rolled up in a sealed case. He's going to take out the case, unroll the paper, and show you this. And let me switch to our Roll20 screen again. Yeah, here we go. All right, I'm switching to our Roll20 screen, and I'm going to bring you to this one. Okay. All right, so for those of you who have never seen this before, this is an isometric map of the outer areas of Ravenloft, the walls of Ravenloft. And in fact, that's actually what this map is called. So this doesn't really give you that much information, but it looks like he has maybe a sketch of this, an aerial view, so to speak, which is really the only way he would be able to get it. And if you look down, there's like, this is like the floor plan of the castle down below here. And he says the only way to approach the castle by land would be through the gates. There's a drawbridge that usually is not up. If that usually is up. If that drawbridge is down, then there's opportunity for you to get into the courtyard. If not, without us, there'll be no getting in. You'll need at least, he counts all of you, there's, I guess, 6 of you. Aurel, Esmeralda, and the 4 PCs. He counts the 6 of you. You'll need 6 ravens just to bring you in and out. And how big is this skull?
It's a dragon skull.
Lovely. So we're talking about a skull that is the size of my dining room table.
Yes, but we can reduce its size and weight. We have the ability to do that.
He nods. That'll help.
Yes, it may be a little bulky, but if you can fly as fast as you say, although you are laden, then I think you can make it. No problem.
Of course, you do realize that this won't be safe, even with the devil here.
Of course, I'm sure there are many a dangerous creature inside of Castle Ravenloft.
His castle is no ordinary fortress. The skies around it are watched. Gargoyles that do not sleep. Winds that scream as trespassers approach. Bats and other creatures of the night will assail us. If we do this, there should be no delay, for any mistake cannot be undone.
We
One
plan to
question
move
about-
quickly.
Orel,
I have one question about Strahd's presence in this town.
just a little louder. Go ahead.
Is he here alone, or does he have his servant with him?
You mean Rahadin?
Yes, the elf.
He has not been here with him. He's alone. Or perhaps he has a coach driver, but
So-
not Rahadin.
And Aurel will look at the group. So we must assume that this servant of his is at the castle.
All the more reason to act quickly when we're there.
I would suggest that any creature we encounter, if possible, we should run.
So here's what's going to happen. You finish writing the letter. A raven of his will fly it off. He'll leave you. You can stay here for the night. You don't have to do anything. Obviously, you don't have to deliver the letter. A raven of his will deliver it. You'll even maybe see the end of the conversation out the window as he bids farewell to the agent, and the raven will make their way across town, not trying to draw attention, and will fly away when he gets a chance. And so you'll have to wait. There's no sense in going tonight, he says, because if you wish to speak to my father, we'll have to wait until we get his word.
Of course.
Are you cool with staying one more night in the
We have to wait for a response.
Yes,
In the
can we
Blue Water
stay
Inn?
with you
Yep.
in the inn?
I also want to discuss a point of entry. If your ravens are going to carry us over the walls, where might you suggest? Is there
He
a
looks to the map.
possibility of some surveillance to see where the gargoyles and the bats are few?
He looks to the map and he says, "We've observed the gargoyles and their approach. They seem to switch positions quite often." He says, "I don't know where they'll be when we get there." He says, "But regardless, it depends on where you're looking. If you're looking to go into some sort of a dungeon or a prison, I'd imagine that would be in a location that we have no access to. The
I see.
easiest place to drop you off would be one of the towers, but I doubt that would be the closest way to get to the dungeons." He kind of laughs.
Then
He says-
perhaps the point of entry should be discussed once we hear back from Davian.
Yes, exactly.
Or once, hopefully, Davian arrives.
Yeah. So, let's do it. You want to talk to Davian?
Yeah.
All right. So, you'll sleep. You get up in the morning. You go down to the dining room, and you can see there's a couple of patrons there. You're eating your porridge and wolf steaks, things like that. And the door will open, and you'll hear a gruff voice call out, "Where's my good-for-nothing son?" And you'll see the old man Mardukov with his white beard and kind of hooked bird-like nose. And he'll say to everyone here, "Go on, fetch my son. There's much to discuss."
Stand and walk towards him and stretch his hand out. been
I'll
so
go
long.
get Erwin.
He grabs his glasses from his pocket, puts them on, and goes, "Is that a Orel? Couldn't be. Still alive, huh?
I'd say the same about you, old friend.
Well, you stopped visiting the winery."
I retired and liked to stay close to home. I heard you
I
had
can
some troubles
understand
there.
that. Very much so. I'm sure Krezk hasn't received much wine quite some time.
No, it's caused much sadness amongst the villagers. They miss it.
He takes out off his coat and starts hanging things up. He acts like he owns the place, sits down on one of the bar stools and says, "Well, if you could convince your friends to help us out, we'd have more wine. I know exactly who is responsible. Those damn druids."
I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you if you return the favor and help them. They're doing something that I think may be quite foolish, but they seem to have a plan.
Erwin opens the door from the back room and looks right at his dad. And Davian stands up tall and he says, "So, son, you realized you need your old man's help, huh?" And he's just like, "Oh, God." He's like, "Wasn't my idea." He says, Come in the back." And he opens the door and lets everybody in. Back in the office now. He says, Esmeralda will start the conversation and says, "We need your help. I know Orel has mentioned that we have a plan here, but we're trying to piece together specifics. You spent many moons in the prisons below. Tell me, good man, where might they be?" And he says, "I read the letter, and I think this is foolish. But I'm willing to help you." And he smiles. You can see all his missing teeth and stuff like that. And he says, "I'm willing to help you because, yes, it will mean that my son needs my help, and that will make me feel good. But also, we have to make some sort of a deal. I was talking to Orel here, and Orel promised that you would all rid my lands of those druids and get those damn gems back so I can start producing wine for the region. Unless I get a declaration here that you will help me, you won't get any more information from me."
You have no choice, it seems.
It is done. I agree.
I agree too.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, in terms of where, you must think below. The dungeons are as far down as you can go.
Oh dear.
Yes. But it's all about the right staircase. There's plenty of stairwells in this castle. There's one, though. One that goes straight down. Like straight to hell. You'll pass a few other floors, but here, and he points to the map. Here, when you enter in, and he says, "Who draws a map from the side view? My son." He says,
Yeah.
He says, "Look, it would be here. Here's the entrance on this side." He points to the map and he's like, "This right here. That's the front. Once you get dropped off into the courtyard, you'll have to break into the front door. To the right, once you get in, you'll see a dining hall. Don't worry, this one is more of the for show. Guests, things like that. Not that he has any. And then there's a stairwell just opposite it. So again, into the chamber, right side, dining hall, stairwell leads all the way down. That's how you get to the prisons. I have no doubt they'll be guarded. There'll be creatures, horrifying creatures, waiting for you. But if you're strong enough, it can be done. Also, you'll need someone who can pick a lock. An expert.
Dione winks. Thumbs up.
He says, so you'll need to be taking me with you.
Oh,
Ah. Perfect.
of course.
And did you read the bit about the dragon skull? Do you know where that is?
One of the strangest things I've ever seen in a letter. That someone would bring that dragon's skull back up again. Yes. I've seen it.
Where is it?
It's in the larder.
The lot?
The larder.
Where is that in relation to the dungeon specifically?
And what is a larder?
It's like near a kitchen.
Where you store
Yeah.
food, you fool.
Like a pantry.
Yeah.
Except in a castle like that, the larder has its own floor. One night, I remember it. They were torturing me, trying to get information about our kind. He looks to his son, and he says, I was delirious. Felt like I was about to slip into some sort of a nightmarish dream. They brought me out of my chambers, up to the larder. Guards were looking to tease me with the food I hadn't eaten in some time. And I just remember looking at all the food that they were enjoying eating. I don't even know that they really gain any sustenance from it. But I looked over, and there, up above one of the tables, a massive skull. Couldn't tell what it really was. I assumed that it was that of a giant. My eyesight wasn't quite clear that night, but I'll never forget. It was a skull. And as I smelled the foods and the pains of hunger ran through my body, I stared at it. It's in the larder. It's one of the floors below. I can't quite remember. Maybe that stairwell, one of the floors leads to it. I just can't remember which.
Would you remember when you see it, do you think?
Certainly.
It is the only way we can kill Strahd, we believe.
The skull?
We need the skull to light this, and I'll show him the sword hilt.
You might need some metal there.
Yes, it's a blade of sunlight.
Well, if this is true, then I can help you find it.
Thank
He
you.
says, Erwin says, the problem is, we only have minutes. I did some thinking about this last night. I talked to my wife. We could probably get you there, hold off the gargoyles. If the devil himself is not within the castle, then that will buy us a few more minutes, but 10 minutes tops before we're overwhelmed.
Well, if we only have 10 minutes as we descend the staircase, once Davian, once you see the area where the larder is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly still,
Larder.
perhaps, yes, thank you. Perhaps half of us will have to go retrieve the skull, and
Yes.
the rest of us must descend to the dungeon and free the prisoner.
Yes, Dione, you must come with me. With the skull, as you can enlarge and reduce it.
Yeah, good point.
Yes, that is true, I can. But My aunt wants me to go and rescue my werewolf. Oh wait, rescue the werewolf.
My werewolf.
She was gonna say my werewolf brother, but then we don't know if the present company is aware. So the werewolf, yes, that is what I would like to do. But if
And
I must
Erwin,
go, yeah.
Erwin and Davian are, what? And Erwin's like, you spoke about Rictavio, not about some werewolf. Esmeralda is like, now, listen, there's good reason. And she, like, gives you a death stare.
I don't know what I'm saying, but too much wine. Sorry.
Not enough wine, he says.
Right. Yes. I'm going to sit down now. And Dione just like sits herself down and stops talking.
Esmeralda says, if there are innocent people that we can save, we will try to do that. Actually, I don't know what she's talking about. Werewolves. I'll kill a werewolf if I see it. Anyway, Esmeralda goes on, but our goal is Rictavio, she says. Rictavio. Yes, that's how you know him.
Okay, so
When you can
Esmeralda.
do that, I can reduce the spell, the skull.
You can do what? I'm sorry?
Like I can reduce the skull. I've got the spell also.
Oh, you do? When did
Yeah,
you
I
get
think that was the initial plan. Maybe.
Oh,
You
fantastic.
have the spell?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Have you had it this whole time?
Wait, we spent all this time discussing whether or not that.
Tim,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. I got it.
Get your head
You
in
know.
the game.
Yeah, then Diana can go pick the lock downstairs
Yeah.
Just in case Davian fails.
in case David.
Need backup plans and backup plans.
Well, it also
Yes.
sounds like you want Davian to go to the larder, too.
Yeah, he knows where that is, actually.
Yeah.
He
He
knows
knows the
where,
way.
well, he knows
He
where
knows
the
where
dungeon
both.
is. He actually does know where the dungeon is. But he does not know where the larder is, but if he sees it, he would be able to recognize his surroundings.
So it seems we need to be dropped off inside the courtyard.
Correct. And he's like, I wish you drew this thing from the front.
Can we don't have to show it on screen, but I would pull out the map of not Castle Ravenloft, of Barovia. And look for a location, or ask Davian, is there a location on this map that can be the area where we all meet before we are carried in to Castle Ravenloft? From which direction do we want to be dropped?
That's a good point. It would be from the east, is what he says. But let me. Oh, sorry, not from the east. From the west is where he says. But let me bring us to this spot. See the map of Barovia. Yeah. So you're in Vallaki right now. Where am I going here? Here we go. Yeah. So here's the castle. You can see the drawbridge. It's on the left-hand side, the west side. That's where you want to go in. Like,
Okay.
literally right here.
Oh, just stroll right in through the front.
Well, you
Over
can't
the
get up
gate.
through the drawbridge. They'll have to fly
course.
you in. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that way, essentially. Yeah.
How far is this?
It's near the village of Barovia. So, quite a ways.
Mhm.
I think it took you 2 days to get to Vallaki from there.
So
It's a little closer, actually. It's a little closer because it cuts off. It's like
Yeah.
it's like in between.
Can the
But-
keepers of the feather fly us there and then break, and then, or do we need to like hike there and meet them?
We should hike there. We will need a horse and cart.
Okay.
Transport the skull once it's out of the castle.
They
I
can
also-
provide you that too.
The Gwaindire can also give me the power to locate objects, which may help us as well.
Really? Do you have to have any familiarity with it?
You have to. You can locate. You either need familiarity with it, or you need to locate a particular type of object. It says, locate a specific object known to you, as long as you have seen it up close, or locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
So if you said like skull.
Skull, dragon skull, yeah. Could
Yeah,
help.
I'm sure that Barovia, the Ravenloft, won't have any other skulls in it. So that's good. Maybe it come in handy when you feel like you're close and you want to lock it in. Yeah. No, I like it. I like this plan's coming together here.
Well,
Okay.
It may be. How long would it take for a raven to fly from Vallaki to a location near the castle?
He says, as the crow flies,
Or the raven.
it would be shorter. It would be much quicker. It would cut the time in half. They need to rest if they were carrying you, so it would be faster if they didn't have you.
I was hoping we would be able to find a location near the castle, and once Strahd arrived in Vallaki, then the ravens would come get us. But it seems that it would take some time for the ravens to arrive.
Yeah, far too long. It wouldn't be minutes. It would be hours.
So I believe we will have to guess the approximate time. It seems that Strahd has been entering this village around dusk. Nightly.
Esmeralda says, well, then we strike at dusk. That's all.
I believe
dusk.
That is the time.
We strike at dusk. It's the best we can do. Again, do not hesitate to leave the skull behind. She looks at Rufus. And who else was going for the skull? Laurent?
Yeah.
Do not hesitate to leave the skull behind. It is not as important as getting Rictavio out of his cell. And to ensure that we get him out, I will be going with you down into the dungeons. She points to Dione and Canas.
Perfect.
And Aurel, it might be best if you travel with Rufus and Laurent. They'll need some muscle to carry that skull out if the plan doesn't work.
Agreed. I'll be there.
You got a firm handshake the other night. I know.
I also have my suit of armor.
You could animate. You're correct. Yes.
Yes.
Do you say that out loud, or because I don't think she knows that you have that.
No, that's my secret.
Yeah. All right. Good. And then Davian will go down below, and Erwin will go with. Sorry, you want Erwin to go with. Sorry, I'm mixing my Martikovs up. You want Davian to go towards the skull in case he recognizes the area, or do you want him to go into the dungeon?
He's gonna.
Well, that's a good question. Davian, you said you would recognize the area where the larder was if we started descending the staircase. Is that correct?
It's possible.
We can descend together, and if you recognize it, you can send us off and continue to the dungeon.
He'll nod. All right, so Davian will go. So it'll be Esmeralda, Davian, Dione. I'm just going to write this down so I don't forget. So it'll be Dione and Canas, which means Yune is going with you. Davian and Esmeralda. You're going to the dungeon area to free both Von Richten and perhaps Emil from prison. Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And then we have the larder crew.
I like that.
The larder crew, that's going to be Rufus.
We're Team Trim.
Team Trim.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
Rufus, Laurent, Aurel, and possibly Davian. I'm putting him in both corners here. Possibly Davian. So actually, the larder crew is the small crew, correct?
Yeah.
You're down one person, in theory, if Davian goes with them because he's supposed to. Yeah, okay. So it'll be the three of you going to get the skull out of the larder, and the four of you to go to get Von Richten and Emil.
And then we'll come
and
back up.
and a group of ravens to
Yeah.
retrieve
Drop us
us
off.
once we are finished.
Yeah, and well, he's gonna probably get like a dozen ravens in total, because they'll need to be able to some to fight off the gargoyles and the bats and other creatures that fly. Hold the, the exit way, basically.
And when we come out of the castle, where's the meetup point?
Back where they left you, the front.
But
I
where will they
suppose,
take us to? Where will they fly us to?
Literally anywhere that's safe, and then they'll figure that out. But the rendezvous would probably be back here in Vallaki, right?
Okay, so we'll come back to Vallaki.
Probably, or maybe you can meet somewhere else. Esmeralda says we could meet at von Richten's tower. It'll be
That's
safer
further.
than here.
We could do that.
It's not a terrible idea. He may need some of his supplies.
We could reconstruct that cart that is there.
Yeah, there's no reconstructing my cart, but the Ravens also agreed to give you one.
Okay, great.
All right.
So if anyone gets lost, we'll meet at the tower.
Rendezvous at von Richten's tower. It's the safest place here in the region. And as Canas mentioned, he may need some of his supplies. Also, we hope that he's still alive. If we find that the skull is not there or von Richten met his demise, well then, we'll still need to plan our next move.
Well, we will.
So meeting at von Richten's tower is
We'll
best.
recover the wine then if we don't do these quests.
Yeah, the wine.
The druids.
Exactly.
Of course. Yes.
A deal's a deal. Esmeralda says, all right then. I believe we have made a plan. She looks at everybody and says, rest. We leave at dusk. Or I guess you're not leaving at dusk. We attack at dusk.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited. We're taking the fight to the enemy at last.
At last. And Davian says one more time, I am warning you, though. If any of you get stuck behind under a wave of enemies, we have to leave you behind. We can't go back and save anyone. You understand? He even looks to his son.
Understood.
Yes. Understood.
And I think the camera here would just pan out of the office, seeing the rest of the Blue Water Inn, maybe looking at it from the sky, and seeing this dark cloud hovering over the city of Vallaki. We're going to pause it here, and we're going to come back for the two-part finale. We'll tell you exactly how we're going to split it up, but I think we're going to do, and we kind of discussed this a little bit off screen, a split finale. So, as we said, Group 1 going to the larder and Group 2 going into the dungeon. We will have two finales, and the players won't even know what the result was. So stay tuned for that. Dasha, always appreciate having you back with us. Thanks for coming on.
Happy to be here.
And thank you for being here, even though you've literally moved like a day and a half ago. So that's dedication.
In the process.
Yeah. Dedication.
Anything for tabletop, Bob.
Yeah. Maybe next time you'll have a chair.
I truly hope. Well, tomorrow's next.
I was gonna say next time being tomorrow night.
I will be right back here on the floor with this echoey room, but hopefully next week by Tuesday I'll be all set up.
Yeah, we'll get you set up soon. But yeah, more to come, and I'm excited for this finale. We have 2 more episodes of season 2, so stay tuned, and we'll see you all on the tabletop. Leave a comment down below who you're excited, who do you think is going to succeed on their mission. Will any of them fail, and what'll happen if things go wrong in the castle? And my goodness, we're going to Barovia, or we're going to Ravenloft, everybody. It's not the finale of the.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
We're going. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the tabletop. Have a good night. Have a good night now.
Very